So today we're going to be using synthetic division to divide polynomials. So our first step is to go ahead and draw our synthetic division symbol. Remember, with synthetic division, we're only really concerned with our coefficients. We're not concerned with our variables at this moment. The only thing we need to worry about our variables is to make sure that our coefficients go in order by what variable they have. So we have 3x cubed, and we need to make sure that goes first. We have negative 5x squared, that goes second, because it does have to go in order of our coefficients. Notice how we don't have an x term. That means we're going to need a 0 there. So when we're going to write out our coefficients, we'll have 3, negative 5, 0, negative 2. Before we go ahead and use our synthetic division, we will also need to determine what number to put here. Remember, synthetic division only works when we have a first degree binomial, meaning where our coefficient, or not our coefficient, excuse me, our exponent on our x is a 1, and it's only a binomial, so we have only 2 terms. So I'm going to have to use this 1, and I change the sign. So see how it's minus 1? I'm going to have to put a positive 1 here. Now we're ready to go ahead and do our synthetic division. So we always bring down our first term, so our 3 goes here. Then we multiply. We're going to multiply this number by this number. So 1 times 3. And the answer to that, the product, will go right here. Then we're going to add. So this number plus this number. Negative 5 plus 3 will get negative 2. Again, we multiply. This is really a pattern. We add, multiply, add, multiply. So now we're going to go ahead and multiply. 1 times negative 2, and negative 2 goes right there. Then guess what? We're going to add. So 0 plus negative 2 is going to be negative 2. 1 times negative 2, 1 times negative 2 is going to be negative 2, and that'll go right there. And then we're going to go ahead and add. Negative 2 plus negative 2 is going to be negative 4. Now we're ready to write out our answer. Our answer is going to have these numbers as our coefficients. The answer all the way to the right is always going to be our remainder. The answer next to that is going to be our constant term. Next to that is the coefficient for our x. And next to that is our coefficient for our x squared. If it continued, we might have an x cubed over here, or an x to the 4th over here, and so on and so forth. But this one only has these 4. So my final answer is going to be 3x squared minus 2x minus 2 minus 4 over the polynomial we divided by, so x minus 1. So x minus 1. That is our final answer. Okay, so let's take a look at one more example. This one's a little longer. You can see we have a lot more terms, but really the process is going to be the same, and it's still going to be pretty darn fast. So we're going to start by drawing our synthetic division symbol, and then filling in the coefficients. Notice how there's no coefficient listed on x to the 4th. That means there is an invisible 1. So for our coefficient in our synthetic division, we are going to put a 1 there. Next, we have 4x cubed, so we have a 4. We don't have an x squared term, so of course we do have to put that 0. We have 16x, and finally, minus 35. So we have our coefficients listed out for our first polynomial. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at our second polynomial. So our second polynomial is x plus 5. It is a first degree binomial, which means we can go ahead with the synthetic division. And since it's plus 5, we're going to have to change that to negative 5 for our synthetic division. Now again, we're just going to follow that pattern. We're going to bring down our first number, then we're going to multiply and add. Multiply and add. So let's go ahead and do that. Negative 5 times 1 is going to be negative 5. 4 plus negative 5 is going to be negative 1. Negative 5 times negative 1 is going to be positive 5. 0 plus positive 5 is going to be positive 5. Negative 5 times positive 5 is going to be negative 25. 16 plus negative 25 is going to be negative 9. Negative 5 negative 5 times negative 9 is going to be positive 45. And negative 35 plus positive 45 is going to be positive 10. Now we've got the synthetic division done. So we're ready to go ahead and write out our answer. Remember, the number all the way to the right is going to be our remainder. Then we have our constant. Then we have our x squared, and in this case we even have an x cubed. So let's go ahead and write that out. 1x cubed is just x cubed minus x squared plus 5x minus 9 plus 10 over x plus 5. And there we go. That's going to be our answer. One thing I haven't pointed out yet, notice how our answer is 1 degree lower than our longer polynomial. So see how my polynomial here was x to the 4th, a 4th degree polynomial, and then our answer is a 3rd degree polynomial. That pattern holds true.